Before that, I want to say you one thing is like, if you have any like friends who are interested in cybersecurity related, you can share this link to them also so that they can join the session.
All right, I guess we should start considering people's time, respecting their commitment, and let the people keep joining as they do. Okay, so as you guys know, today's webinar is all about cybersecurity career guidance. There would be multiple speakers, including me. I am CISO for CyberSeal InfoSec Solutions. I have been in the industry for over a couple of decades now. And then I'll be joined by P. Narayana, who is SOC lead, and he's also handling our labs. Then we have Mohammed Harris, who is offensive side researcher. He's taking care of CEH, VAPT, and offensive side things. Then I have Harika, who was speaking today on this call. She is graduated in digital forensics, taking care of the meetings as well as some of the digital forensics assignments. And we are cybersecurity trained, which is part of CyberSeal InfoSec Solutions. And we are not an institute, just to make it very clear from the beginning. We are cybersecurity services company, but cybersecurity train is part of this big initiative. So today's agenda is definitely not to sell you the courses, not to talk much about what we do, but today's agenda is more focused on helping you to decide how should you making your career in cybersecurity, how you can grow if you are already there. So if you look at the webinar agenda, there are few sections. So we are going to talk about AI revolution. Everyone might be having
Sir,
some doubts.
sorry for interrupting in between, sir, but I
Yes.
think so your voice is low.
Okay. How about others? Is everyone having the same experience?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you guys able to hear me? Should I speak louder?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Your voice is a little bit low.
Okay, okay. So I'll try to speak louder, and you can give me the feedback if you're not able to hear me. Okay,
Sure,
so
sure, sir.
today we are going to focus on AI revolution because everyone is worried about how AI is eating our jobs and what the impact AI might bring in the future career as well. It's not about only cybersecurity. It's not about only IT as a career. I'll also talk about other industries, how AI is going to change everything. So if you have graduated freshly in 2025, or maybe you have graduated 2, 3 years before and you are still searching for the job, this webinar is going to be really helpful for you because so many people which I spoken earlier, they are very much confused about the career path. They do not know where to go and how to make their career. So our focus would be to discuss about impact of AI, robotics, automation across the industries. We'll also discuss about how this is going to change not just AI but other industries as well. Okay, and also we'll talk about how innovation is replacing the headcounts. So this is really, something very interesting which will come throughout this session. Then we are also going to see how AI companies are doing versus traditional IT companies, and I have very interesting data for that. Then we have some expert career guidance. I'm going to talk about how students or freshers or working professionals can shape up their career. Okay, we'll also talk about some certifications, especially in cybersecurity, which can help you to shape up your career and grow. These are the some cybersecurity domains we are going to talk: offensive security, defensive security, GRC, cloud security, AI security, digital forensics, and threat intelligence. If you stay till end, some of you would be eligible to get free trainings and free internships, and and some of you would be eligible for the discounted coupons. And those discount coupons are not like we have inflated our course prices, then it would be applied. It is going to give you such price which you will never get with us. Okay, so just stay with us and we are going to talk about all those things. Now let's talk about the very first topic, which is AI effect. Okay, you guys might already be knowing how many companies have started shedding their workload, their their human resources. Okay, so now there is a company you might have heard about, Anthropic. This company has created some AI models. Claude is the most famous model from this company. This company started, and also let me know because there's a lot of text on this, right? So let me highlight some of the text so you can read it clearly. So this Anthropic was founded in 2021. This is just 3 years old company. Within 3 years, they have added 2,300 to 3,000 employees. Not very big numbers, right? This is pretty normal number for any Indian company. But the thing which I want you people to highlight or to pay attention to is the valuation of this company. This is valued $380 billion, and the recent valuation has crossed $800 billion. So the next valuation, which is going to come in April or May, would be 3 times of its own value. So forget about $800 billion at the moment. Just pay attention to $380 billion and the employee base 2,300 to 3,000 employees. Right. Now let me compare to all our Indian IT giants. You guys might be dreaming about joining TCS, Infosys, Techem, HCL, and Wipro. So if you combine these 5 Indian IT companies, the number of employees are 13 lakhs and 47,000, right? And these many employees and these many companies are bringing combined market cap of $198 billion. Now you compare this $198 billion with $380 billion. Okay, so my idea of showing you this is not to undermine the importance of Indian IT companies. They have been doing really well. They have shaped the entire world. But now, because of AI revolution, things have been changing. You will not see mass hiring from TCS and Infosys anymore. You might be surprised to see few years before TCS has hired 40,000 employees in a single year. There were mass campus hiring, there were a lot of freshers hiring, but everything is stopped now. The same goes to Infosys, HCL, and Wipro as well. Reason here is now human resources, the people are not driving the uh, revenue. If you talk about the revenue, you see here per person revenue in Anthropic is $10 million to $15 million, right? If you talk about Indian companies, per person revenue is very low. It is just like $62,000. Compare $10 million and $62,000, which is very huge difference. So people are not adding value, people are not bringing business now. So earlier when these companies were adding people, their share values were going up. Now when they are removing people, their share values are going up. The reason is pretty simple. The message goes to industry that they are using innovations. When they remove people, they are using innovations and they're using AI and they are bringing more value. They are saving the cost, delivering more results. HCL has grown about 12% from last year, but their employee base did not grow at all. So everything growth they achieved using innovations only. They have started using AI agents. Infosys has signed a big deal with Anthropic. They are also going to do a lot of work using AI agents only. So to show you this slide, my objective is not to frighten you. My objective is not to distract you from the IT industry. It's not like IT is not doing well. It's not like cybersecurity is not doing well. It is like things are changing. So we need to understand the demand. We need to see what is going to grow, what is going to decay. Okay. So just I'll move on from these numbers. I'll share these data points later with your email as well. So you can just go through that. So as I was saying you before, it's not about just IT. People might tell you that IT is ended, right? IT has no future, but that's not true. AI revolution is going to impact every industry. You see healthcare, basic diagnostics, medical transcriptions, radiology, repetitive documentation, initial patient triage, everything is going to reduce. In future, when you visit any hospital, probably you will not see the doctor. You will see AI agent who would be specialized in OPDs. And doctors will only be supervising these agents. Even today, if you talk about almost 30 to 40% major surgeries are robotic surgeries. Only doctors are supervising those robots. Future would be very much changing within next 2 years. Talk about automobile industry, government jobs, banking and finance, manufacturing, legal industry, retail and e-commerce, any other emerging areas, even including agriculture is now using AIs, customer support, education, all of this going to be changed. So it's not about just IT, it is about everything what you see today will be changing within next 2 to 3 years. By 2030, almost 80% of all job roles what you see today would be impacted from AI. It doesn't mean AI is going to replace all those jobs. It just means those jobs would be changed. The requirement would be changed. The skill set will be changed. Okay. So things would be changing. So we also need to change. And whatever I am trying to emphasize today is about those people who do not know the reality of the industry. They might be freshly graduated. They had a lot of dreams that they would be selected in campus. They would be having dream jobs. Things have changed. Your academics, your curriculum, your content was not changing that much. So you are not very much ready for the market. I'm not talking about everyone, but at least majority of people are not ready for the industry changes. Okay. So now we are going to talk about cybersecurity. Why cybersecurity as a career? Okay. So definitely all of you have been interested in cybersecurity. Some of you might be from IT, might be from cybersecurity industry already working. Some of you might be looking for your career in cybersecurity. If you look at some of these newspaper clippings, right? So you see here, the India is the innovation hub for cybersecurity. For cybersecurity, 40% of Indian cybersecurity teams are understaffed, means they do not have enough resources. And good thing is graduates from any field can get into cybersecurity. The reason is when you learn cybersecurity, you are learning almost everything from scratch. If you do not know about technology, it's okay. You can learn fundamentals, you can learn about SOC, you can learn about CEH, and you get your job. But it's not that easy. We will talk about the challenges as well. Okay. But this industry is booming, and the credit goes to AI. As more as AI innovation is happening, it is not just helping the industry to replace cybersecurity people, it is helping more to adversaries, more to attackers to find the challenges. And as you know, more challenges occurs, we are going to seek more cybersecurity professionals. If you just go 10 years before, only IT companies were having cybersecurity leadership, like CISOs and CIOs. Product companies, manufacturing companies, real estate companies, none of those industries were needing cybersecurity leadership. They were just having some resources, that too at low level, not in the leadership. But now things have changed. Every company, regardless whether it's IT company or it's non-IT company, will need to have cybersecurity leadership and a team. That is the reason this industry is booming. If you look at the data points, the market size as on 2024 was $230 billion, right? Global workforce gap was $4.8 billion, means these many cybersecurity qualified resources were lacking. Companies were not able to fulfill these job roles. Every day we have 2,200 attacks happening. And that too, this number is now on the lower side. This survey came on 2023, right? India's cybersecurity market is $13.6 billion. It is expected to grow by 20%. 20% growth is too much growth. As you know, India is growing at about 6%. This industry is going to grow at 20%. So definitely there is a uh, lot of opportunities. And which industries are going to lead it? VFSI, healthcare, ITs, government, defense, retail, manufacturing, e-commerce, almost every industry, right? And there are four major reasons why you should be choosing cybersecurity as a career, right? High demand. This demand will continue. The reason is AI. AI is going to create a lot of challenges. And as soon as we get quantum computing as a production, every encryption which you see today will be broken. Again, it would be like Corona effect. As you know, during Corona, the number of doctors were not sufficient to help the patients, right? Same problem is going to occur once quantum computing comes on the floor. There would be every encryption broken. Every company will need to realign to the more stronger encryptions. So high demand is there in the market today and it is going to continue. Job security. So ideally, if I say there is no job secure today, but when it comes to comparison, cybersecurity is going to give you more stable career. Competitive salaries. Yes, because we are working for money. So definitely cybersecurity professionals are very highly paid. If you talk about US average salary, it is $150,000. And if you talk about some experienced people who are working in leadership, they are earning more than 250,000 USD. In India also, it starts from 6 lakhs, but it goes to 2 crore plus. So salary is no bar. The only thing matters is your skill set, your experience, and that's going to definitely, give you a reason why you should be choosing cybersecurity as a career. So you have variety of roles as well. The people who are coming from outside might be thinking it's just cybersecurity one thing, right? It is not one thing. You have variety of roles. You have security analyst, you have pen testers, you have security engineers, incident responders, architects, GRC, cloud security, threat intelligence analyst, network security, right? Ethical hackers, AI security. So you have plenty of job roles. So it suits to everybody, whether you want to make your career in offensive security, defensive security, GRC, cloud security, AI security, anything. Okay. So this is the holistic picture why you should choose cybersecurity as a career. Now let's dive into various fields in cybersecurity. So majority people know about offensive security, defensive security, GRC. We have a couple of more and like cloud security and AI security. So these are the major categories, but this is not the complete list. The job roles and the list of domains is even more because security is needed everywhere in every area. But majority of people who are starting their career, for them, offensive side and defensive side are the best choices. These are the job roles which are suitable for the beginners. So when I talk about offensive side, as it is depicted by the red color and the swords, these people are ethical hackers. Okay, they think like attackers, they think like hackers, but they do not perform any uh, you know illegal tasks. They do not compromise the systems. They think like attacker to make sure that they understand what are the weaknesses are in the system and they can help companies to fix those gaps before the real hackers exploit that. Okay, so offensive side would be ethical hacking. They would be performing penetration testing. They would be having uh, vulnerability assessments. They might develop exploits just to make sure that they are able to expose the weakness in the system before outsiders are doing it. They can perform black box testing, social engineering, and web application scanning as well. These are some of those functions of offensive side, but there are plenty more functions as well. These are the major ones. If I talk about the job roles available in offensive side, you'll have pen testing, you'll have ethical hacking, security specialist, threat intelligence analyst, application security, exploit developers, bug bounty hunters. These are the major red teaming job roles. But if you talk about offensive side, these people would be performing their tasks independently. That means they will not work in a team. So you will find less jobs available on the portals, but more projects available for offensive side. So the people who are very much fascinated about working alone, working till late nights, working on the projects, do not want to work in shift, or maybe do not want to work for a company. They want to work themselves, handling freelancing projects. Offensive side is the best pick. Now let's talk about defensive side. Defensive side, as you see, this is a teamwork. Okay, they are the people who are going to monitor and defend against the attacks. As you see the shield, so they are not going to attack or they are not going to uh, do things proactively finding the adversaries. Instead, they are going to monitor the infrastructure. They are going to react when there is a security breach. They would be the incident responders. They will be doing the threat detection and response. Digital forensics is also part of it. Malware analysis, threat hunting, SIEM management, and vulnerability management. SIEM means security incident and event management. This is the main highlight of defensive side. This is a tool which is going to collect logs from each and every device in the organization, and it is going to understand whether there is an attack happening or not. So this is a brain of defensive side monitoring. And if you look at the job roles, you see here SOC analyst, that to level 1, level 2, level 3, these kind of jobs would be there. Then cybersecurity engineer, incident responder, forensic analyst, threat hunter, SIEM administrator, vulnerability management analyst. These are some major job roles, but this is not again the complete list. There could be more. Now, if I talk about defensive security team structure, they usually work in team. So for any company, even if it is a small company, you will have at least 4 to 5 level 1 engineers because they need to work round the clock from from monitoring standpoint. You need to monitor infrastructure round the clock 24 by 7. So that is the reason, even if you do not have much work, you need to have people for coverage. So more people are needed in defensive side. because you need minimum 4 to 5 people, even if there is a very small company. That too, I'm saying 4 to 5 people in level one. You need similar team as a level two and level three. So on an average, any small and medium business will have at least 10 to 12 people, as in SOC. But if you talk about offensive side, maybe 2 to 3 people can manage the entire function for the same size of organization. So you will find 5 times more job in defensive side. That doesn't mean I want to undermine offensive side. That's only mean that when you go and make your career, you should choose the right choice. Otherwise, later point of time, you will have to again switch back to some different team. You will have to waste your time, waste your energy, and your money as well. So choose career wisely. If you want to focus on uh, freelancing or handling the projects independently, you can go for offensive side. But if you want to make your career as a job and you want early jobs, defensive side would be the best pick. Third one comes GRC. As the name suggests, it is about governance, risk, and compliance. It is made up of three functions. Governance is nothing but creating security policy and enforcing that. So it's a leadership kind of job. Okay, so it is top management who is driving GRC efforts. But lately, we have seen there are some opportunities even for the beginners. So companies are hiring for beginner roles like GRC analyst, risk analyst, compliance analyst. These people are helping leadership to maintain the governance, risk, and compliance. So you'll find these kind of roles in this area: GRC analyst, compliance analyst, risk analyst, information security auditor, data privacy officer, third party risk analyst, policy and governance analyst. These are the beginner roles. But again, GRC is more focused about leadership. So you will not find so many job roles with less than 5 years of experience. You will find 20-30% GRC jobs which can be opened for the beginner roles. But majority of GRC jobs would be for the leadership, and the experience requirement for these roles is minimum 5 years. Okay. Now there are two more fields which are very emerging, are cloud security and AI security. So again, AI development is happening everywhere, right? And this is bringing a lot of risk to the companies. This is bringing a lot of challenges as well in terms of what you want to allow and what you don't want to allow. You have thousands of AI models. How will you identify whether ChatGPT is safer for your organization or Microsoft Copilot or maybe the Chinese ones? So we need people who are expert in identifying the way these chat GPT models or agents are working and making sure they are not increasing your risk posture. They're not bringing any more challenges to your company. Should not be the case. You are using ChatGPT to ask some questions and your company information is being published or maybe being used to train the model itself. And then later, if somebody else is asking for the same question and ChatGPT is releasing your own information there. I'm not saying ChatGPT is not safe and secure. I'm just highlighting you the risk of any AI model. ChatGPT or these kind of models are very much governance model, and they use a lot of privacy policies. They use a lot of safety tools, but there are thousand other models which do not have those kind of regulations. So you need AI security engineers to understand these GPTs and to understand the challenges, and that's how you can help your company not to jailbreak some of these. Like some people are using these models to uh, write such kind of prompts which are not allowed in your company, right? Also, if you are using some LLMs, you have to make sure that the learning process is legitimate. It's not using any such knowledge which is not allowed. Okay, also you should be able to perform AI risk assessment and management. Main thing is protecting your intellectual property. Otherwise, these models might learn from that information and might reveal this information to the world. Okay. Now the cloud security, as you know that nowadays almost 90% of businesses have some sort of cloud presence. If not completely, then they will have some or other websites or they're using some SaaS based applications from the cloud. So cloud also brings a lot of challenges and you definitely have a lot of job roles which are available in cloud area. Okay. So you will be having people who want to have expertise in cloud transformations. Okay. Like I want to transition from my business from premise based data center to cloud. Who can help me? So you need such kind of people. So a lot of job opportunities are there. Like if you look at cloud security architect, they are the people who do transformation. Cloud security engineers, they're the people who do configure the security parameters. Cloud security analysts, these are the people who are working day to day. DevSecOps engineers, cloud pen testers, cloud compliance analysts, cloud threat hunters, cloud security operations. All these things are very much popular nowadays, and there are a lot of job opportunities in this area. Again, the security, AI security roles like AI security engineers, ML security engineers, AI red teaming, prompt engineer, AI security researchers. These job roles are very prominent in uh, AI security as well. Okay. So there are plenty of jobs, there are plenty of requirements in the cybersecurity. There are some challenges because of AI, but AI is a boon for cybersecurity. It is not a curse. AI is creating more and more job opportunities in cybersecurity. The only need is to understand and make yourself skilled to claim these job roles. Okay. So now let's talk about offensive side security. In offensive side security, we will have a team who is working to act like attackers. They would be ethical hackers, certified people. They will be having some pen testings performed for the organizations. They will first see the scope, then they are going to find the vulnerabilities in the systems. And there are some requirements like these are the certifications: certified ethical hacking, EJPT, OSCP, Security Plus. These are the certifications if you want to grow your career in offensive side, red teaming. Then you have these job roles as we already talked about it: pen testers, red team members, ethical hackers, consultants, exploit developers, right? And here in this area, you are seeing these are the tools like Suit, John the Ripper, Wireshark, Metaxploit. These are the tools you would be working, you would be learning about it. Now I would like to invite Muhammad Harris. He'll be showing you few things on offensive side uh, with a short time, maybe 5-7 minutes, and then we will take it from there. Muhammad, are you there?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Is my voice audible?
Yes, you are audible, and you can share your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see.
So today I'll be just showing you guys a basic pen testing of how I can actually get into Ubuntu system. In a similar way, we can also get into Windows 10 and 11 also. But it is little advanced because we need to make a custom payload for that. So this is a beginner way of understanding how this thing goes. Like, let me say about myself. My name is Mohammad Harris. I'm currently working as a cyber seal infotech solution as an intern. My main focus of today is to perform a demo. Uh, so today's overview, I'll be saying what are the tools we'll be using. So first tool is NetDiscover, then Nmap, So these two are reconnaissance tools, which we are more important than of the pen testing tools. So these tools are like the things which we can understand what are the machines we are targeting. So this gives us a lot of information of the target machines. So this with this information only we can perform the pen testing. So a search exploit is an inbuilt tool in Kali Linux. So it helps us to understand what are the exploits available. And Metasploit, a Metasploit is like a framework. In this Metasploit framework, there are multiple ways of doing a proper pen testing. So this is the main tool we'll be using to perform a pen test, and we'll use a Python script to stabilize the shell. It will be unstable because we are using it to access privileged information. For that reason, we'll be stabilizing the shell with our own custom script. So it will help us gain more information, and we'll use John the Ripper to crack a hash code like a password. So first step will be a reconnaissance. So as you know, NetDiscover will search all the IP addresses and the devices which are connected in our network. So for that reason, we use NetDiscover. And after that, to scan the ports of that particular IP address, we use Nmap. So what is Nmap? It searches all the open and accessible ports of that particular IP address. So we have multiple modes in Nmap also, like as I have shown in the PPT. The E-A mode is used as an aggressive scan, and P are the number of ports. There are total of 65,535 ports open, like total ports, and there are at least like the top ports which are already open and accessible will be displayed in our machine so we can access them. So this is how Nmap usually works. And we'll use service enumeration like search exploit to look up about the exploits which are will be trying to get into a system. So that's how a search exploit works. It is a directory of all the exploits. Vulnerable exploits are all mentioned in this database. So we can just, if like all the exploits we are not able to remember. So what we'll do is we'll use the search exploit command and give the exploit which we want to look up. So if we type it, and it will display all the vulnerabilities which we can access from that particular exploit. And we'll use MSF console, which is Metasploit. There are multiple Metasploit frameworks. We'll be focusing on MSF console. There is one MSF Venom, etc. Those are like all together form a Metasploit. So that Metasploit framework is divided into multiple parts, which makes us easy to understand what we are doing. So next step, we'll do a post-exploit exploitation, because just getting into a system doesn't make any sense, because if we don't know what we are searching, then just getting into a system will just be detected from their system and be kicked off. What we have to do, we should understand what we are searching, and we should complete our goal. Just getting into a system is just a starting part. Till we get into a system, then there is a huge variety of things which we have to aim for. Like, for example, when we are getting into a system, we should have a clear mindset what we are going to do. If we are not aware of what we are going to do, just getting into a system doesn't mean anything. So first thing, we'll stabilize the shell. Then we'll be searching to a specific file, so which has the password of the machine which we are going to target. So that's our whole idea of post exploitation. So this is the most important part than just getting into a system. Now I'll show you how the actual privilege escalation and all, and I'll summarize with the proper demo. So for this demo, actually, I'll be using my Oracle. So my attacking machine will be Kali Linux, and this basic pen testing is a vulnerable machine which we'll be using to exploit the machine password itself. So our main goal and main objective of today's demo is to get into this basic pen testing VMware. So this is a Ubuntu software. So I'll show you what it is. So in your majority of your college systems will be an Ubuntu based interface preloaded into them. So this is like the past Ubuntu software like OS, and we don't know the password. So our main objective is to get the password of this Ubuntu system and use how will we doing it? We'll use our Kali Linux to get into the system. So the basic rules of performing this uh, pen testing is that it should be in a same network. For that, we have a procedure of NAT network. We'll set up a lab. In lab, we'll give a specific IP address so that in that particular IP address is only we can play. We are not targeting any other IP address out of this IP address boundary. If that IP address doesn't have 1.0/24 subnet, we are not able to identify that uh, lab, like the vulnerable machine. So this creates a safe environment to do a proper pen testing. So let's start with the demo. Are you clear with this stuff? Am I little fast? Hello. Am I too fast or like is it able to, are you guys able to understand? Okay. So as I said, the first basic thing in a pen testing is reconnaissance. So for that, we'll use the command net discover. And this command, why have I used -I and Ethernet 0? So this VMware is directly connected as an Ethernet cable. If I have a Wi-Fi also, it will take in as an Ethernet cable itself. In my VM, I have set it. So we can easily change this to a Wi-Fi card or anything else. And why -I is used, it is an interface. We are selecting which interface we are going to scan. So now, okay, so first we have to do sudo su to get into root. So after we are in, so what we'll do is we'll give the interface that is Ethernet 0 and the range of IP address. So as you know, I have created an private network which is 192.168.1.0/24. What is this /24? It has like one IP address has around 255 IP address together. It forms one whole network. So we are scanning that whole network. So the -R is used as a range and -C is the number of times we'll be checking the file like a duration in we can say in 10 seconds or one second how many times we'll be sending the request, our request, acknowledgement request to the each IP address. So with this, we'll scan our own network. So as you know, we are getting two IP address right now. So what is this 1.2? It is a generic gateway as we have created a whole lab. So our gateway of this whole lab, the identity will be 1.2 and the 1.5 should be our attacking machine to verify our is that our attacking machine or what we can just use uh, to check our IP address. So if we see our this Kali Linux IP address is 1.4. So we can understand that is not our machine, which is present in our particular network. Okay. So with this, we can understand that this is our attacking machine. So for that, we'll use Nmap. I'll give a brief explanation of what is this going on. So T4 is the time and service script. And these two are just the service script, which will have a standard service script. And the hyphen P hyphen is used for the ports. And we'll be opening just searching for just the open ports. So as you know, there are 65,535 ports altogether in that this particular IP address. We'll be just checking for the open ports. We can't just go through all the ports, all the 65,000 ports, and usually 80% of them are closed ports, so that they are not accessible by a third person like me who want to get into their system. So we'll just see for the open ports. So it takes like few minutes. Like if you have given lot of RAM to your Kali Linux, it must take less time. So the basic understanding is we are scanning the particular IP address for an open port for us to get access to it. So as you can see, there is port number 21, which is TCP, and port number 22, which is open. Both are with services like FTP and SSH. These are two common services which are usually open. And port number 18, which will be our HTTP. Okay. So these are the things which are usually open. For this demo, I'll be just focusing on FTP service. So this is the FTP service. So the basic idea is to understand what are the information we are gathering. So first thing we can understand, if you just concentrate on the FTP wala part, so we can understand this is an FTP service. The port number is 21, and the service version of that particular service is Pro FTPD 1.3.3C. So we just know the version. So what we'll do is we'll use search exploit, and we'll search what is this version usually has. So what this search exploit usually do is it has a huge database of all the exploits which are being compromised and being kept in a directory of which contains all this information as a library. You can say it as a library for pen testing. It will just give us the information of what are the things are available. So as you can see here, it has a compromised backdoor remote execution. And it also says that a backdoor command execution is available using Metasploit. It clearly mentions which tool also is capable of executing a backdoor command. So this is usually helpful for a beginner to understand what is going on. So we got to know that this is a metasploitable case. So what we'll do is we'll use MSF console. Okay. So as I said, Metasploit is a framework, a full-fledged framework for a pen testing. What it does, it has many number of exploits, auxiliaries, payloads, ports, and encoders, nodes, evasions. So what it does is it has a set of payloads preloaded, and we can use this set of preloaded payloads to perform an attack. And usually how the attack usually works is we'll try to get into a system by using a set of payloads. It can be a custom payload or a preloaded payload. So I'll just show a demo of preloaded payload. If you want to create a custom payload, you should understand all the basic PHP coding. So you have a basic idea of what you are going to do. Majority of them usually use a ChatGPT to understand what the code is and suggest code from the ChatGPT itself. Nobody is like specializing in PHP coding at the moment, but usually, if a basic understanding of the PHP code is good enough for an attacker to understand what he is going to do on the victim PC. Now let's use search command. So what we'll do is use the we'll search for the same exploit as you can see. It's already been mentioned in here that the Metasploit has an preloaded payload. So what we can do is just search for that particular payload. Then it will show us what is the payload. Then what we have to do is we have to use, and you can see this index #0. So we'll use the hash code. That's all. It will load us the exploit, what we'll be using. And to understand more about the things which are necessary to run this exploit, we'll use the option command. So it will list out all the options which are necessary for us right now. Okay, so we need an R host and R port is already set. So you can see the R port has been set to 21. So as you can see here, yeah. So our port has been defaultly set to 21 because this is the uh, exploit we'll be using. The Metasploit has a knowledge of what is the exploit. So we'll see show payloads. So it will list down certain number of payloads which we can easily use to get into that particular system. So as you can see, what it is doing is we are getting some generic access till 1 to 3. Okay. So these are like the basic way of getting into it. What we'll be focusing on is to get the reverse shell access. So I'll be setting the payload as 4. So what I'll be using is C, the hash ID, or we can use the hash ID, or you can just type the whole thing from /cmd to the reverse wala part. Then we can access the payload. Now we can see the payload has been set to CMD, Unix, and reverse. Now we'll see again with the options like what is left out. Is saying to set the local host. So as you know, there are two types of things. One is our host. This will be the receiving, which will be performing attack on like, and one more thing will be L host, the local host, which is the device which will be performing the attack. So in our case, it is Kali. So we'll set the whole thing. So the main thing which was needed was the R host and the L host. It generically have set a default port from which we can give the access. Now the only command left is run. If we run the whole thing, we should be able to get the access. It is just performing connection. We'll get a confirmation once it is set. See, it shows that the command shell session 1 from this is our Kali Linux, okay, port number for host, and this is our the IP address of the targeted machine, which is our Ubuntu device. Okay, so I'll show who am I, what is the privilege. So I have gained the root access. So in this root access, as you can see, if this is a shell, this thing is not interactive enough that we can call it as a stable shell. So for that, we have to uh, understand how to stabilize a proper way of stabilizing the shell. So the main payload, the website I use to understand like the payloads to stabilize a shell is this website, GTF, gtfobins.org. it has all this ways of stabilizing shell using a Python or PHP. There are multiple ways of stabilizing it. So for this, I'll be using my custom payload, which I usually use to perform all these attacks. And so,
Mohammed, I think we will be running out of time. So, how much time are you going to take more?
this is like 5 minutes more. That's all.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, this is the Python script. This what it does is it will be importing to Python. Will be spawning in bin bash. So with this, we'll be getting into root access of that particular system. If you use list command, it will list all the directories. Now what we have to do is in Ubuntu system, uh, all the data of the device will be like the data and the password will be stored in this particular directory. As if you have the knowledge of the Ubuntu system, you'll get into this directly easily because this is an hidden directory which all the Ubuntu system usually has. As you can see, the name of the username of this Ubuntu system is Marspline. So for that, we have to just search for that particular username. So we got this username, Marspline. What I'll just do is copy this selection, open a notepad, paste it here, and we'll just save the file. For now, let's use h2.txt. Okay, now the file has been saved. Now what we'll do is use John h2.txt. So it shows, okay, one sec. As you can see, the password has been cracked. So what it does is usually I've performed this twice. So it shows the password has been already cracked. So as you can see, the username and its password is also being mentioned here. So the password of the Ubuntu system is Markspline itself. So how to verify it is if that the password is same, you'll just type the password here. So if you type the same password as the username, we'll be getting into the Ubuntu system. Without knowing its password, we have just cracked the password. So this was the whole demo of the whole thing. I know it took little more time than expected. Okay. So the whole thing is the summary of the whole thing is most important thing is reconnaissance, which is done by net discovery, scanning using Nmap, exploit will be searching in our main database. Then we'll use an exploitation tool, which is Metasploit. Then we'll use post exploitation tools. Then we'll use privilege escalation to finish our task. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So I think that was pretty good. Thanks, Mohammed. But that might not be good for everyone because some of you might not like the black screen working on those cracking tools. And that is definitely true. That is why some of you will not choose to go into offensive security. Offensive security is for those people who are passionate to work alone, they want to do something, and they have some interest in scripting. I do not say that you need coding experience, but if you have coding experience, certainly you are going to do better than others. So offensive side is more like working on some projects and doing something passionate, like in the movies also you might have seen, right? Somebody is trying to hack some passwords, like Muhammad has done it for Ubuntu. However, it is not easy to do because the current security on the current OS system is not crackable. If you want to crack Windows 11, that's not possible like this. But you have some vulnerabilities, you can exploit those vulnerabilities, and you can, exploit the systems using those. All right, so some of you might not be having this kind of setup to experience, this kind of exploit developing and testing the offensive side. For that, we have a system which is online. You might have heard about Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. Similarly, we have Hacker Sandbox. Okay, this is created by us. We have these machines put online, like Kali Linux is there, some command line is there, and we are also going to integrate SOC related tools on this online lab. So you can access this from your home. You don't need to install anything. You just need a web browser and you can simply launch the labs on your own system. This is how it is going to make your life easy. And there would be some subscription cost for this, but again, that would be very, very nominal when you go for this. Okay. So now let me resume it and talk about the defensive side. As you see the blue color, right? Till now we were in red color. Those were little dangerous. The people who are trying to be offensive inside, they want to understand how attackers might break into your system. So you need to think in that direction. Now, let's talk about the defensive people. They are the people who monitor the infrastructure. If you look in the movies, it would be like big pictures, big TV screens, people looking at the screen, watching out for the alerts. That's not true for every company. You might have your computer screen, you might be looking at very few alerts. So it depends on the company to company. But the essence here is these people are going to monitor infrastructure around the clock, and they would be talking about threat intelligence. They would be talking about incident response. If something goes wrong, if some ransomware attack is happening, so this team is going to first respond it. They are going to contain the damage. That means they would try to minimize the damage by isolating that system and investigating further, and also issuing the notifications, like somebody is attacking us, and then they are also going to publish breach information, how much data might have stolen from them. So these people protect, detect, and respond. And these are some certifications. CSA, there is a certification from Cisco as well. You can get certified on Splunk like this. You can get certified from IBM, Logarithm. Then you have major SIEM tools listed here. So SIEM tools are the brain of defensive side infrastructure. You need to have at least one SIEM tool, and this SIEM tool is going to correlate a lot of logs which are coming from different sources in your organization. And we are going to focus mainly on Splunk. Splunk is the market leader, and also Microsoft Sentinel. These are the market leaders, and we will also talk about Wazoo. Wazoo is an open source SIM tool which you can install on your laptop, and that is where you can practice a lot of things. As you see, these are the job roles. This is the career path. So you join as a junior analyst, you become a SOC analyst, then you become a specialist, maybe the level 2 or level 3, then you become SOC lead manager. Okay, here you are coming into leadership role. Then you become security architect who is designing the security for the organization. These are the key skill sets. You learn SIM tools, you learn log analysis and correlation, you learn threat detection and incident response, you learn vulnerability assessment, security analyst, network and endpoint security up to some extent. compliance and risk management, scripting, some of that. Why you need scripting here? You actually want to automate some of the things. So for everybody, scripting is not required. For the people who want to save time for their organization, they would be learning some of the scripts out of their own interest. If you want to grow your career, you have to learn some of those scripts, some of those AI tools, so that you can make sure that your team is ahead up in the game. But it is not going to look like you are exploiting something, you are working on Kali Linux, you are doing all those scanning kind of things. That is not part of the job here. The part of job is you will be working on a ticketing tool, could be ServiceNow, Jira, or AOTS Remedy, and you are going to receive the ticket. As soon as ticket is received, you are going to see the information there. Is it a false positive? Means maybe this is just a false alert. If it is a false alert, you can close the ticket there itself by posting some information on the ticket. If it is true positive, that means if it is a real ticket, then you have to perform the investigation. And how will you do the investigation? You can access some of the logs from the Splunk tool. You can even access some of the logs from the device itself. Then understand the pattern, how that attack started. Is it coming from a bad reputation country? Maybe like it came from North Korea, or maybe from some countries which are where you do not have any users. You can straightforward block that country. You can have some access list where you are blocking the entire traffic coming from that country if you do not have users in that country. This is just one example. There could be multiple such scenarios. Okay, so this is kind of a job role where you are going to work in teams. There would be some levels like level 1, level 2, and level 3. If you do not know something, you can seek help from your peers. If your peers do not know something, you can always escalate to the next level. So SOC is a team game. You learn here from your peers, you learn here from your superiors, supervisors. When it comes to offensive side, you actually have to be proactive in learning as well. You need to make sure that you know most of the things yourself. And that is how you can have independent projects also in offensive side. Independence defensive side, this would be more of a team game. All right, so next I'll go to GRC. As you know, GRC is umbrella, right? It is going to sit on top. From the top itself, you are deciding the policies, security policies, and your risk management rules, right? Then you have some compliance. So from the top itself, you are going to enforce all these things to the bottom. So I know that this webinar is not more focused on the senior roles. That is why I am not talking much about GRC, but GRC is also good for the people who want to start their career. And GRC is such a function which would be very least impacted of AI. The reason is in GRC, you have lot of human involvement. You have lot of decision making process. So that is the reason this is going to be the very stable career. And many people, after having some experience on offensive side, some experience on defensive side, they move into GRC after few years. So definitely this is in the same career path. Then, okay, so this is the last of categories. I have already told you about some cloud security and AI security as well. So those roles are also very prominent in the market. There was a question came from uh, Irfan. Question was about one of the AI model which Anthropic has released. This is Claude Mythos. And if you have not heard about it, please go and study about it. This is very important for all of you. Claude Mythos is a model which can find the vulnerabilities within minutes, and those vulnerabilities which people cannot find in weeks and weeks, in months and months. I'll take example. There was a vulnerability in BSD Linux. Okay, this is the operating system which is kind of a trimmed operating system being used by multiple purposes. Even our Android is based on BSD Linux and many others. Okay, there was a vulnerability which is existing since last 27 years. and nobody could found till now. Claude Mythos have find that vulnerability. Not only that, it has found tons of vulnerabilities in multiple systems, and that was a very reason US government has banned it for public use at the moment. The access of Claude Mythos has been given only to 12 companies in the world, and those are like Microsoft, CrowdStrike, Palo Alto. There are some companies who have developed some systems. Why it has been done that way? Because if you open it for public, and if any attacker is using Claude Mythos against any system, it can find these vulnerabilities within minutes and can exploit as well, because all these vulnerabilities will be 0 day. If you might know a little bit about 0 day, 0 day means the vulnerability which has no fix, the virus which has no antivirus signature. So to make sure this is not going in adversary hand, Claude Mythos is currently restricted to only those companies. They are using it against their systems, trying to understand if there are some vulnerabilities which they can fix before Claude Mythos is out for the public. It will be available for public, if not today, then tomorrow. So some job roles would be impacted. I might have shown you bug bounty hunter, right? So bug bounty hunter job would be no more in the market going ahead, because this kind of AI models definitely take precedence in that, because bug bounty hunters are spending hours time, days and days of time just to find single vulnerability, and this model can find it. So now bug bounty hunters will be using this model to find the vulnerabilities. Again, if today you need 100 bug bounty hunters in your company, tomorrow you might need just 10, and those would be enough to cater the job. So a lot of challenges are going to come because of Claude Mythos. There would be a lot of new roles created in cybersecurity. I tell you how. Currently, if a vulnerability is found, that is being reported to the original manufacturer or engineer of that particular software, maybe the Microsoft, right? Every month they are releasing some patch for Windows. Now, these vulnerabilities discovery is very slow because it is being manual. It is being done by people who are contributing in cybersecurity. They are finding the weakness, they are reporting it to the manufacturer, and they are fixing it by taking their own sweet time. But after Claude Mythos comes on floor, there won't be any sweet time. And also even after patch is developed by the manufacturer, it is not going to be easy for companies to upgrade within the same timeline, because there won't be any time now. So there would be more people needed in patch management, more people would be needed to upgrade the softwares. There would be a lot of cybersecurity personnel needed to maintain the systems. So a lot of disruption is happening. Irfan, I guess I answered your question. If not, you might ask more questions in the chat. Now I'll move on a little further. Okay. Okay. So we are not going to take more of your time. We came almost up to end. So what makes us difference? See, you might have seen that we were advertising, we are going to give you career guidance and all of those things. So the same promise we carry now. We are not focusing to sell our courses here. If you guys are structured, if you guys are very focused, you may learn everything even from YouTube using AI tools. No need to join us or no need to join any other institutions for that matter. We are not an institute, first of all. We are a cybersecurity services company, and that is the very reason we know how industry is changing and what are the real needs of the industry. So if you compare the aspects, who we are the cybersecurity services company, and this is our brand who is providing cybersecurity services. We have created cybersecurity train just to create a resilient team who can help us as well in our cybersecurity business. Okay, so we are not too much focused on selling the courses, trainings, and all. Instead, we are here to guide you. Again, the experience, we brings more than 2 decades of experience in the industry, so we know what you should be doing to develop your future. Our approach is again industry driven, practical, real world applications. We don't want to go into just EC council prescribed content. Instead, we want to bring some tools which you are going to use while you do your job. While you do your job, should not be the case. You learn something when you join the team, and they give you some tools which you never heard about. So we bridge that gap. We bring you exactly what is needed for you to perform the job. Our focus is again, as I said, to build a resilient cybersecurity force. Our mindset is long-term impact over short-term revenue. So we really don't want to just earn some money in selling you the courses. We are not spending much time on that. We have been talking about AI impact. We have been talking about how things are changing, right? So these are the things. Now I'll just take you for a minute to our portal, which is for training. Okay. So the people who have stayed with us, some of those people would be eligible for it's completely free training. Okay. Some of you would be eligible for completely free internship with us, and other people would be eligible for a discount. And our discount coupon on these courses is not like we have inflated the price. Let me show you. For example, this is a SOC analyst training program. Okay, you will get all the details on this website as you see about the course, what you're going to learn, what are the modules, then the course price. Actual course price was 28,000. Already there is a discount. It is coming for 22,000. But we are going to give you special discount for only webinar people. And when you apply this discount is applicable over this already discounted price. So now the new price is 16,500. If you click here, okay, it is going to give you this price, 16,500. The actual price is 28,000. So we call it 25% discount, but it is not. Okay, it is more than that. The reason is we have not inflated the price. Anything which is already discounted, this coupon code will work on top of it. So you're getting more than 50% of discount. Now let me tell you how this portal looks like. I'm not focusing much on selling courses, but there are some very important stuff for you to understand. You can click on career guidance on career path. We have career path details for every field here. If you want to go into SOC, you can click on the SOC track. If you want to go into ethical hacking VAPT, you can click on the VAPT track. So for example, if I click on SOC track, it is going to give you this course detail, right? Now another tool is course selector. Click on career guidance, come to course selector. Now this is wonderful. You can select who you are, if you are a student or a fresher or a working professional or a career switcher. You might be having a working in different domain like software development or in a non-IT, or else if you have career gap of more than 6 months. So you can select yourself here. In the next section, it's going to ask you the experience level. Maybe because you are a fresher, you don't know anything. You can select 0 years. Then it is going to ask you your domain of interest. Could be defensive, offensive, GRC. Leadership is not applicable for you because you have selected 0 experience, right? So let me select defensive. Then it will ask you about your time availability. If I say I want weekend batches, I want weekday batches, or I want fast track, based on that, it is going to give you the recommendation. This is the course suitable for you. So you don't really need consultation in the future. You can go and try these, you know, course selector tool. Now I can talk about roadmap for working professionals. If you are already working, there is a roadmap. So this roadmap is divided in few phases. Like phase one, you have to experience your alignment and then skill gap reset. Then phase two, you are going to choose your track, maybe defensive side, GRC side, security architecture, tool based. like cloud security and Zscaler. Phase 3 is going to talk about leadership readiness, market positioning, everything. And that's all. Okay, still if you have any query, you can just click here, provide your details, you can talk to me. So all efforts here are to give you the right suggestion, which side you should be choosing to move forward. You can learn yourself, you can join somewhere else. Does not matter. The only thing which matters to us is you should find right career path. So later you should not be thinking that you have spent your couple of years, you have spent your lot of money and still you are not sure what to do. But if you join us, certainly we are going to take you through the complete career guidance. And this is how we help people. We give them, training, we give them internships, and based on that, we even recommend them to find the jobs. Now, next, this is the end of the slide. I have taken a lot of time from you. It is almost 1.5 hours. The people whom we want to give this, some of the free training, some of the free internships, only those people who are going to give us the feedback. That shows that you are very, very, very serious about it. You have stayed with us very long. Please scan this coupon code. So this is not coupon code, this is a feedback form. Give your feedback, and from that list, based on your interest, which you are mentioning there, we will select few people for free training, few people for internship, and other people for the discount codes. So please go ahead and scan this code. I'm also going to give you the form link directly in the chat so you can utilize that. So you can find this course link in the chat and you can fill your feedback. For rest of the people, you can see on the screen and scan it. If you are joining from the laptop, it's easy. You can scan from your phone and fill this form. Do you have any other questions? Feel free to drop into chat, or else you can unmute yourself. You can ask it. I'm free to answer your questions.
Hi, Shweta this side.
Yeah, Shweta.
Yeah, so actually I have like 5 years of experience as a SOC analyst.
Okay.
Yeah, like so I'm looking for a new job role now. But my drawback in my like career is that I don't have exposure to different tools like Splunk, ADR, or Sentinel like that, which the job market is asking right now when I'm trying for new jobs.
So you have answered your own question, Sweta. So the
Yeah.
thing is, this is a very common mistake which we are doing. So when we are working, right, we sometimes we are either lazy or we get busy into some other things. We are not able to upgrade ourselves with the changing environment, and that is required. So Sweta, for you or for anyone else who is having this kind of requirement, you can definitely reach out to us and we will have one-on-one conversation, because I need to understand your strength in terms of your skill set, also your goals. See, there are multiple fields in cybersecurity, right? You have already 5 years of experience in SOC. Now, how you want to grow yourself within the SOC, or you have other areas as well? So just reach out to Harika. I hope you have the phone number, right? The WhatsApp number which we have published. If not, I'll let me mention that. Harika, can you mention the WhatsApp number in the chat? So
Okay, sir. Fine.
anyone who is looking for any extended guidance, just talk to us and we will definitely guide you. We will provide you 10-15 minutes of time. First, we'll understand you. See, no solution fits everyone, right? So,
Yeah.
so I don't want to suggest you anything out of my mind here without understanding your challenges. I need to know if you are really ready to work in shift, are you are ready to relocate, where are you located? all those factors actually matter. Okay, so
Yeah.
we will have a specific conversation about it, and I'll answer your questions.
Yeah. Thank you.
But generally, we need to upgrade ourselves. We need to know what is demand in the market. Your next role for you should be SOC lead, SOC manager, GRC analyst. You can go into risk management. You can go into compliance management as well. So after 5 years of experience, all these fields are open for you.
Yeah. So I just want the training for the proper one. That's
Yes.
why
So for
I
that,
joined the seminar.
yeah, for that you can talk to us, and we will definitely discuss. Good thing is, we deal with only cybersecurity. We are not like institutions who have cybersecurity just as a training, and they will try to influence you to join some of their courses only. We we can help you from the beginning till the end. So we do not enforce anything. Instead, we understand you, and based on your own strength, we suggest you which can work for you for a long time. When you are looking for job, right, you at least want to stay in the industry for next 10, 15 years. So
Yeah.
that suggestion has to be very thoughtful.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So if you guys have already given the feedback, thanks for that. Thanks for joining. And if not, then the form is there with you. Please make sure that you fill that feedback form, because we will only consider those people who have filled the feedback form. Okay. So if there is no other questions, thanks for joining. We are good to bind up. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.